Prepare to be electrified. The party master is here. DJ Spax 256.
Okay, so that's DJ Drop. If you would like to get any of those, you check me out on Haven Inventives. That is Haven Inventives at gmail.com. Alternatively, you can hit me up on +256 782 751 1859. I want to talk about leadership. I want to talk about how hard it is to lead creatives. Now, to lead alone, the mere fact that you are a leader is hard. But when we bring creatives into the mix, it becomes a little bit more complicated. What do I mean? Creatives tend to have a mind of their own. Of course, we all do, but creatives tend to believe that they can do things by themselves. They are resourceful. When I talk about creatives, let me first give some background info. When I talk about creatives, I'm talking about videographers, photographers, musicians, artists, people who are into, that kind of stuff. The people who are into the fashion industry, acting, stuff like that. So most or many creatives, talented people, have an issue with authority. Because many creatives tend to believe that they are self-sufficient. Few tend to realize the need for leadership. They tend to believe, we tend to believe, because I'm a creative myself, I can do it with or without, I can do it by myself. I can do it on my own. That's why you'll find that many creatives tend to have issues with management at a certain point of their success. When they've gotten to a certain point of being successful, they think to themselves, we think to ourselves, Katiwano, I'm good. I can do things by myself. And usually it creates a lot of issues. So if you're going to lead creatives, it's very important to know how. Number one, creatives need a safe space. They need to know that they can be themselves without being pressured to necessarily do what management or leadership expects of them. Many creatives have an art of their own. What most creatives do is an expression of them. The knowledge, the skills they have acquired over time and built. It takes time to do all of those things, yeah? So most creatives want that kind of respect to say, hey, man, I have built this for quite some time. Even though you're in my you're my manager, even though you're in my leadership, respect that fact. Another thing, if you're going to lead creatives comfortably, you have to have a bit of knowledge about this and that. You have to know. Be knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable. Be ahead of the game. You understand? If you're comfortable with what you know, you're not open to trends, you're not fast enough to pick a trend and say, hey man, this is what is moving. This is the kind of, let me say you're a music producer. You're not fast enough to say, this is what is catching. This is what is trending. Maybe let's try and do that kind of thing for you. If you're a manager, you're leading creative, you're saying, this is what is trending. Let's try and do that together. You're in charge of an artist, for example, a singer. You say, man, let's do this. Let's book some studio time and do this. This kind of beat is what is trending. Let's see if we can jump on that. You have to be knowledgeable. You also have to be open to trying out new things. Many creatives are just adventurous. They want to try out different things, Another thing that I've noticed, I'm a creative myself, we tend to grow. We tend to grow and we want to discover different parts of ourselves, what we're capable of doing, different styles of expressing ourselves. As a manager, you have to be open to that. However, as a manager or as a leader of a creative, you also have to know what the people you're leading, what are their strong suits? The creatives, the talented people you're leading, what are their strong suits? Where is their strength? Where is their strength at? And then you help them discover that. Many creatives are very hard-headed. They'll say, no, for me, this is it. Even if it's not necessarily their strong suit, they'll want to try it out. Yes, you might want to give them some time to try and fail. However, you sometimes have to hold it up to them, hold them accountable and say, man, this is your strength. This is how we do. This is how you do. This is where you're good at. Let's see if we can build on that. So That's very important. I just felt I should share that because so many people in leadership positions who are in, these leadership positions have that conflict with the creative team they're working with. I think another thing that's very important, and I think I should, I cannot end without talking about this, is that most creatives have a thin line between what is right and what is wrong. It's very thin. Why? Because for them, they will not look at the world in black and white as simply as you do if you're a leader and you're not necessarily a creative. Or you're like, no, this is right, this is wrong. You don't, how can you do this? How can you do it like this? I expect you to do it like this. You have to understand, most of them do not look at the world as black and white. They see different things. Where you're seeing 1 + 1 = 2, for them, they may see 1 + 1 = 2 + 2 = 5 = So you see, because they're constantly creating. And no matter how talented someone is, it does not necessarily mean that they're intelligent. I think that's something you also need to understand as a leader. They might be very talented, but not intelligent, or mature, emotionally mature. You have to understand that someone can be very talented, but very immature. So you have to keep all of that in mind as you lead your peoples and help them be the best version of themselves. You have to have that patience and all of that. But yeah, special shouts out to all the people that are in leadership positions and are doing the best for the creative team that they're leading. On behalf of creatives, on behalf of myself, I want to say thank you so much. Being a leader to creatives, oh man, you have to be really tough. Anyway, Unresearched in today's episode. My name is Isaac Darlington. As always, we talk for, and I hope you do take to heart what I just talked about here today. Blessings.